I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones.
What is that, the quickening?
I can feel the quickening in my bones. I can feel.
I love your.
Can only be one.
I love your Egyptian accent.
I am Egyptian. For those that don't know what we're talking about, if you haven't seen the movie Highlander, you're fucking missing out on life. You're missing out on probably one of the top 5 greatest and / most confusing action movies of all time.
Yes, we had a run through the other night of the Highlander. I think the first experience for both of us. Neither of us had seen.
I have only seen Highlander 2. I have never seen Highlander 1.
I've never seen any of them.
And I saw some of the TV show. You had to at least see a touch of the TV show.
I mean, I'm sure
right?
here and there I saw a glimpse of it, but no, I've never sat down for it.
So in the 80s, they did a shitload of action movies that are like widely renowned. They did Terminator, Universal Soldier, Predator, Time Cop, Die Hard. You had Schwarzenegger, fucking Bruce Willis, Chuck Norris. You had all of them. Steven Seagal. You had all of them, man.
Steve and Seagulls.
We'll get into that in a bit. But one of them that doesn't get enough credit is from Christopher Lambert.
A Frenchman.
Highlander. And it's, that's the confusing part.
Well, no.
Christopher Lambert is a French guy.
I think it gets the hype it deserves. I don't think it's overrated or underrated. It doesn't deserve any more praise.
No, I mean, it's one of those things that like everybody should watch. If you haven't watched Highlander, you are kind of missing out on something. So you need to see it.
I feel like we're about to dive into like a hour-long discussion.
I could talk about Highlander. This could become the Highlander show.
I have theories too about...
Well, we have to fucking lay it out for everybody.
Okay, start with the premises.
So they know what the fucking premise of Highlander is.
Yeah, pour the premises out.
Okay, I think, as best as I can figure, Highlander is about a guy from Scotland called Duncan MacLeod.
MacLeod clan.
And MacLeod doesn't know it in like the 1400s or whatever, but he's an immortal.
1583 or something.
Yeah, he's an immortal. And he finds out he's an immortal when they try to kill him, and he comes back to life. And then he's like, hey guys, what's up? And they're like, you're a witch. Burn the witch.
Yeah, he gets run through with a claymore and then takes a nap and wakes back up.
Yeah.
And then they throw him in the river.
Yeah, then they try to drown him, but then he still doesn't die. So then he's like, I can't hang out with these people anymore. So he fucking goes somewhere else and lives for hundreds of years. And has this epic long battle with this other guy who's also an immortal, who's also Scottish, and they're trying to kill each other.
Well, I don't know if the other guy was Scottish or not.
I thought he was like in the 1580s. There was a battle between the two of them, and he was like, even then he was like, there can only be one.
Yeah, but it was. He
could have been English. He could have been.
I don't think they ever defined that he was also Scottish.
That's fair.
He just showed up for battle against the MacLeod clan.
Yeah, and so so many things. Number one, so Duncan MacLeod's an immortal.
Yeah,
there can only be one.
He gets drowned. He gets run off from his clan, and then all of a sudden, a Spanish peacock shows up.
Yes. Okay. So the part of Duncan MacLeod is played by Frenchman Christopher Lambert, and French who whispers the entire movie just like that. I heard 5 words he said, except he had a heavy French accent. Says you say the Belgian waffles and says MacLeod, and that was what he spoke like the entire movie. So. Then Christopher Lambert, the Frenchman, who doesn't even try to do a Scottish accent.
No, he does try, but it's very, very bad.
You even think he was attempting?
No,
Maybe he was
I think he was trying.
I'll tell you who wasn't trying. The guy who showed up later, Sean Connery.
The Spanish peacock. Sean
Connery was supposed to be a Spaniard who later on then goes, I lied. I wasn't Spanish. I'm Egyptian. But still doesn't ever, Sean Connery doesn't even slightly attempt to not talk like a Scottish person.
No.
He's just like, I can't even do it. Gaga watch. I'm Sean Connery and I'm here. I'm Spanish, but I'm also Egyptian. I'm Egyptian. I lied.
I never said I worked. I never said I was Spanish.
I never said I was Spanish.
I work for the King of Spain.
Because I'm Egyptian.
I'm Egyptian, though, from birth.
But I talk like a Scottish man, even though I'm Egyptian, even though I'm Spanish. It was fucking crazy. Because he was more Scottish than the Scottish guy.
Well, being that he is Scottish.
You had a French guy playing a Scottish guy. You had a Scottish guy playing a fucking Spaniard Egyptian.
Yeah, well, he played an Egyptian that lied about being Spanish.
It's fucking crazy.
And he dressed like literally, he wore a full peacock.
And Sean Connery is supposed to be the wax on, wax off character of this movie.
He's the Miyagi. He's also an immortal. He shows up to train McCloud in the ways of like not dying,
which is also not explained. Like other than they say that there's
he shows up
a honing beacon, but like why he wants to when there can only because the goal of all the immortals is to kill all the other immortals.
So you're the most powerful.
So you can only be one and be the most powerful.
You can be Jet Li at the end.
Yeah, so it's like the Jet Li movie, the one. Actually, in a way, that Jet Li movie ripped off Highlander.
Yes.
But what's weird is Sean Connery does not seem to be interested in killing Duncan MacLeod.
He shows up to teach him as a mentor
how to be a badass immortal.
And then even when the bad guy from the battle in 1583 shows up, he lets MacLeod duck off and he battles the bad guy and ends up getting run through. Spoilers.
Sean Connery's in the movie for 10 minutes.
Yeah, 20, but yeah.
No, like if you took like maybe 20 minutes running time, like if you counted his scenes on screen,
okay.
He's in the movie for 10, like he showed up for a day, put on some funny pants.
And a peacock.
Didn't bother changing his accent and was like, I'm a Spaniard. And that was it. That was the whole fucking thing. And then he gets stabbed and killed. And Mr. Miyagi dies.
Well, and then there's the quickening because
that's so unexplained.
Yeah, in the training montage, all of a sudden he holds up his sword, lightning and everything, and Sean Connery, that's
the quickening.
I was gonna say that's the shining.
That's the quickening.
That's the quickening. You're feeling the quickening.
You're feeling the quickening.
And that's the entire explanation.
Doesn't explain it
for lightning bolts and
lightning
everything.
Comes from the sky, and then they feel the quickening. But then there's other times where there's no lightning, and they still claim to feel the quickening because there was a time where he was near a deer. And he heard the deer's heartbeat. And Sean Connery was like, you feel it, don't you? That's the quickening. And that was like his answer for everything. Every time Christopher Lambert had like a smile on his face.
Your bladder feels full. That's the quickening.
That's the quickening. You fucking shit your pants. That's the shittening.
You have an urge to put animal in your mouth.
That's the quickening.
What is the quick?
You're getting tired.
You want to take a nap.
You think it'd be the sleepening, but no, it's the quickening. And then, like, when he says that, Lambert gets so Forrest Gump excited that he starts running on the beach like he has magic shoes.
Quickening is the moment when, in pregnancy, the pregnant woman starts to feel or perceive fetal movements of the uterus.
That's the quickening.
That makes it even better.
So they're pregnant. So the Highlanders feel pregnant the whole time.
That's the definition that pops up. Now I'm going into a quickening, parentheses, Highlander.
Yeah, see what happens when you put Highlander in there.
So the quickening is a phenomenon in the Highlander films and television series. Beheading a character known as an immortal produces a powerful energy released from the body called the quickening. The quickening is the receiving of the power and knowledge that another immortal has obtained through his or her life. It is like receiving a sacrament or a massive orgasm.
And that is not explained whatsoever in the film Highlander. Like, that's a good explanation.
But
by the way, that still doesn't explain when he was near the deer, where he's like, you'll feel the quickening. And then he starts running.
I think the original one was just like trying to change the word the force, because I think that's trademarked. And they just swapped it out. The quickening.
Oh, so they were stealing some Star Wars.
Yeah. Because it works like before they explain anything. Let's go ahead and stop for a second and say that this whole movie was written, produced, directed, and like edited by men on a massive cocaine binge.
Oh, so much. This movie, like a lot of great things in the 80s, so heavily influenced by cocaine.
You can tell, like, if you were on cocaine and watched this movie, you'd be like, this is the greatest movie ever.
That's the quickening. Cocaine is the quickening.
It makes it make sense. And so if you step back and put into your mindset that cocaine.
Yeah, you're right. So if you think the whole time you're watching the movie, cocaine influenced this, you get it. Because there are times where there's no reason a scene happens.
No, at one point, the bad guy, like cuts down a castle.
Yeah, with a sword.
Yeah.
He cuts down the stone walls
Of a castle.
with
his sword.
With his sword. And he's also the bad guy's sword, for some reason, breaks apart like a fucking gun.
It's a sniper
Like, it
rifle.
has, like,
He carries a case, a little tiny briefcase, and then he puts a claymore together.
there's 80 pieces to his fucking, it's like a Lego set.
Also, not very well explained, other than I met, Hirohito, and he gave me the sword.
The sword.
Because
Oh, yeah.
the
okay.
Spanish Egyptian carries a samurai
The
sword.
Spanish Egyptian
A
with a
katana.
Scottish accent is heavily influenced by samurais.
No, not influence. He just
He
carries
even
a
mentions it,
katana.
though, like it's the sword of a samurai.
Yeah,
It's a samurai sword.
but he carries a katana, and he passes it on to McLeod, the Scotsman,
Yeah.
and he
This is the French
battles.
Scotsman.
He battles Igor, who carries a collapsible sniper rifle style.
I mean,
claymore.
he puts that thing together like Lee Harvey Oswald is about to fucking take JFK.
The
out.
best part is like the hilt goes on to the blade, then the handle, then the pommel, and the pommel screws on and connects the bottom half. Then the middle of the blade has a connection point.
Yes, even weirder. You're right. He actually has to put the blade together.
The blade is half and half, and it just snaps together via
Like a transformer.
what are they? Velcro, like Velcro.
All you have to do, you're
Hook and
right.
loop.
Just think of this. You know, it'd be cool, man. Just fucking take the fucking sword, man.
You ever seen Star Wars, man? That shit's crazy.
Yeah, the fucking Star Wars, man. It's great. It's the Force. We need something like the. Hold on. Quickening. Quickening.
I love it.
Fucking so much cocaine. In so many scenes, nothing makes sense. Christopher Lambert whispers the whole movie. You can't hear a word that he says.
McLeod.
Goes to the future. He meets a chick.
There can only be one.
And that's still not even explained that. And then there's like immortals that appear out of nowhere. That you would think,
and the cops have the quickening as well.
the cops are the fucking quickening.
Anytime a sword is drawn in the film, cops show up, except for the final battle.
Yeah, when there clearly should be cops.
When they're cutting down like
When there needs
buildings.
to be cops.
Yeah, there is lightning flying all around. They cut down a water tower that falls on top of a building and floods the entire roof. They cut down a Hollywood kind of motel sign off the top of a building.
Hold on, let me just.
Flames are flying everywhere.
I just got to cut this just right. Hold on 1 second. Oh, you know what'd be cool, guys? What if the fucking water tower fucking makes like a kiddie pool and they're fucking fighting in the kiddie.
And lightning.
And lightning comes down, man.
Greenlit.
And then the lightning turns into dogs.
Yeah,
Which
because
happens.
at the end of the film, when McLeod defeats Igor, the bad guy in the film, for some reason the quickening lightning that's been happening the entire time. Anytime there's a sword, there's blue lightning. Anytime the quickening is mentioned, there's blue lightning.
Totally makes sense. You get used to it after a while.
But when he kills the final guy, all of a sudden, lightning dog demons
Turns
fly
into
out of his
ghost
throat.
dogs.
Yeah.
Ghost dogs up here.
And they eat McLeod and make him boner happy.
Fucking crazy. I mean, it makes no fucking sense. And then something happens like at the end. I can't remember how it ends, but they like go to fucking Scotland or something.
No. The last 10 minutes of the film is literally a recap of the entire film. Like, here's him in battle before he knew he was immortal. Here he is with his lover. Here is where the
'cause
Spaniard
they play
shows
that
up.
fucking Queen song.
Yeah.
They're like, we are in
It's a
love, we
montage
are-"
of the movie you just watched, in case you forgot.
But isn't something weird happen? They end up on the hill somewhere, right? And he says something at the very end. I can't remember. Fucking something crazy. Yeah, that's it. Stop. And there was only one, by the way, for one scene, he does turn into Bruce Willis. And that's even weirder because the entire movie, Christopher Lambert doesn't say where he just whispers. But then, like, for some reason, when they're having their final battle scene, he's like, I said like some quip, like, I told you to wait for me or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
He has one-liner in the whole film.
one-liner that doesn't fit anywhere. It's out of character.
Yeah. He's not witty, In fact, there is a very derpy scene of him running down the beach.
No, he looks like Forrest Gump's magic shoes are on. And he's running in his fucking kilt with his magic shoes. Oh, you guys.
And then all of a sudden, he's Rico Suave at the end of the film with some weird like, oh, did I cut you too deep? Before he cuts the guy's head off.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
And then he beheaded the guy. But, I mean, great beheading scenes. Any movie that starts with a fucking beheading out of nowhere is fucking worth watching. A lot of good sword fighting. Fucking nonsense,
I don't
Sean
agree
Connery.
with any of this. None of this was good. It was.
Oh, and then the scene. Wait. So I was about to wrap it up,
effects.
but I forgot about the scene where, for no reason, the bad guy kidnaps the chick that Christopher Lambert's in love with in the future, and he just starts driving like playing chicken.
There's a
and
weird
screaming and driving and then she's so freaked out, she just falls asleep while he's like driving in the midst of like a bridge against
There's
traffic.
a very weird trauma style Toxic Avenger.
Feels like it belongs to the Toxic Avenger.
Like 5 minute. Like it's like, hey, we need to eat up some time. This we have to meet the 2 hour mark. So let's put a montage at the end. Let's have him run across the beach here, and we'll have the bad guy drive around for 10 minutes.
That's the thing I forgot about. I've been watching a lot of 80s movies right now. They take their fucking sweet time. Because in this movie, we watched from step one to we watched a guy climb a ladder for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, there was a ladder climbing scene.
The ladder
Nothing
climbing
happened.
scene.
It was just like, we need a way to progress the story.
Imagine a guy
We need movement. He needs to
climbing a
travel.
ladder for 3 minutes. That's the scene.
With 80 synth music behind it.
Climbing a ladder. Climbing a ladder. There can only be one ladder.
Wow, 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 wow.
Trying to climb the ladder. You know what would be a good idea, guys? Climb the ladder 3 minutes. Fuck it. We want
Duran.
Yeah, Duran. What would you get? I'll give it a fucking rating. What for people who want to see Highlander? What would you say? I say it's a must-watch.
It's no Predator. It's no Rambo or First Blood or whatever. It's no E.T. It's no Poltergeist.
It's no Hard Target. For sure.
Is that the one where we fight a snake?
That's the Jean-Claude Van Damme fight a snake movie.
Okay. No, that was definitely better. But it is one of those I think you should see, because what led from the first film are 2 other films, I think, and
there's 3 Highlander movies and a TV series.
Yeah, that ran for a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, and the weird thing was when we looked at the box office gross on this movie, it cost like $16 million to make.
And made like 4.5, 5.5.
It like lost like $10 million for the movie, guys. But they were still like, we love it so much, we're going to make another one. It's cocaine.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation.